Since the Chinese meanderer Chang'e 5 landed on the moon, there has been expanding proof that this heavenly body is not same as what we have long envisioned, particularly inside it. The moon seems to conceal fortunes. However, we have not had the smallest thought regarding the stunning revelations of the meanderer could impact our reality until the end of time. What the very wanderer found profound inside the moon, and why this revelation may possibly mean certain doom for the environment disaster, we will analyze now. Stay with us as we are going to change your perspective on this divine body. What did Chang'e 5 find? Chang'e 5 find on the moon. The Chang'e 5 mission arrived on the moon on December 1st, 2020. Following a 23-day venture through space, the double test had been sent off from the Wenchang space apparatus, sent off site of Hainan region of China. This is the same site from where ancestor tests Chang'e 3 various satellites too, as the parts and supply trips for the Chinese space station have been sent off. After effectively isolating from the orbiter, Chang'e 5's lander landed in a lunar region that researchers called Oceanus Procellarum. This area is close to the lunar equator, is a tremendous level region. On the far side of the moon, described by its outrageous breadth and the closeness of the 50-50-foot Hyman's-Rumker, the objective of the Chang'e 5 mission was obviously characterized. The almost 8-ton test was to gather tests from the lunar surface and bring lunar stone back to Earth without precedent for 40 years. For the absolute first time in mankind's set of experiences, this mission was to extricate tests from the profound layers of the moon. In later years, researchers had come to understand that the moon may be totally different from what we had long thought. It might be conceivable that the moon harbors an enormous supply of mineral acids that could address our energy issue for effective boring the lander sent the examples back to its orbiter by means of the climb module, and the return excursion to Earth started after just 14 Earth days. The mission was commended overall as an extraordinary accomplishment of Chinese space travel, obviously lifting China into the positions of the extraordinary spacefaring countries of this world. The arrival of the examples was anxiously expected by worldwide specialists. We can, as of now, uncover this much. The experts' new earth-shattering experiences about the moon were more than satisfied. Water and glass. On December the 17th, 2020, the container back entered Earth's environment and landed effectively in the meagerly populated breadth of Mongolia. When the tests were conducted, the specialists got to work with incredible expectation. It was expected whether the drillings would affirm the current speculations about the moon's creation, or, on the other hand, assuming the moon's inside would uncover a totally different truth. Researchers accept that a planet the size of Mars slammed into the Earth multiple a long time back, making the moon, during the impact, a piece of the Earth severed and was covered with liquid stone. As of recently, it was expected that the temperatures were high to such an extent that all the water vanished until the end of time. The moon was viewed as a dry heavenly body that was gradually contracting, or then again all in, all drying out in the new long stretches of time. Telescopes and tests have seen as huge stores of water, ice and holes closed the lunar shafts. The story moved and everybody began addressing where the ice on the moon came from and why it had never been seen in over 50 years of extraordinary lunar investigation. NASA intends to send space explorers close to the surveys as a component of the Artemis mission in the approaching 10 years. When there, the space explorers are to decide if the water stores on the moon can be used in an arranged long-lasting station. On the moon, the water could accommodate people, develop plants, and furthermore be utilized to create fuel. Presently, the revelation of Chang'e 5 could totally oust this large number of plants, as this meanderer has found the apparently unthinkable on the little unnoticeable divine body, enormous amounts of water. And that is wherever on the moon, in the drill test, specialists from the Chinese Institute of Sciences viewed as an strangely high thickness of little glass particles. These little glass precious stones have no doubt shaped when shooting stars, struck the moon, hitching a ride on the comet, could likewise have carried water to the moon, which is presently frozen at the posts. Upon closer assessment, the effect, glass globules uncovered another mysterious that basically left specialists astounded, since inside the dabs they found water. Every molecule just holds back a minuscule piece of water, yet in mass the water stores on the moon are huge. Might you at any point envision that a lot of water on the moon? That likewise sounded strange to us, yet the Chinese review leaves no question. In every individual precious stone there are 2,000 sections, water to 1,000 parts. So as you can see, it's tiny, and the dots are not so much as a millimeter in size. However, the beef is comprised of water. What's more, presently prepare yourselves, since when the focus is switched over completely to the whole moon, there are 2,000 kilograms of water in each metric ton of lunar soil under Earth conditions, and in fluid express, this is basically comparable to 2,000 liters, which is a ton. The probability that these glass particles are even appropriated across the whole moon is high. After all, the whole moon has been barraged by comets, space rocks, and shooting stars for billions of years. This suggests that the moon could be bountiful in water from the equator to the posts. Future monitored moon missions subsequently wouldn't be guaranteed to need to land at the post, and afterward arduously endeavor to use the water ice there. The water from these dots can be, without any problem, detached through warming in this manner, giving moon pilgrims with new water any place on the heavenly body. In additional examinations, Chinese scientists were even ready to show that the water encased inside the lunar gems was once created by the sun. The hypothesis recommends that decidedly charged hydrogen molecules from the sunlight-based wind advanced into the glass globules. What's more, blended in with the oxygen contained inside them. Investigations of the various sorts of hydrogen molecules in the examples have shown that these glass globules can likewise deliver a piece of their hydrogen charge at high temperatures when they are warmed by sun-based radiation. The aggregate sum of water abundance in the type of effect, glass dots, is assessed to be near 298.7 billion short tons. As indicated by current appraisals, in 2010 NASA assessed the water share at the moon's north pole to be 661.4 million short tons. Contrasted with past suspicions that the moon was very dry, this is really gigantic indeed. Even contrasted with our Earth, the overflow of water is noteworthy. Our blue home of water and rock is assessed to hold roughly 1.47 quintillion short lots of water. Presently, you're likely contemplating whether there might at any point be the point at which this moon ice dissolves, or, on the other hand, on the off chance that the moon could be changed into a scene with waterways, lakes, or whole seas through a compound or mechanical change in the water glass dabs. Obviously, we likewise asked ourselves this question and explored the matter, albeit such thoughts would be phenomenal it will sadly scarcely be conceivable to allow water to stream on the moon's surface. The moon has essentially no air, outrageous temperatures, and without a doubt exceptionally low environmental tension. Water can melt under specific circumstances, and these essentially are absent on the moon, since the moon doesn't have a especially high thickness and has just a extremely frail attractive field. It's likewise not expected that changes will happen here in what's to come anyway. It's something else entirely. Story with Mars, where fluid water once streamed, hints of disintegration have affirmed this on numerous occasions, and daring designs for terraforming plan to change especially the frozen Mars water at the shafts into fluid water, and in this manner into oceans and lakes through and misleadingly incited nursery impact anyway. Specialists additionally uncertainty here whether this could at any point be, all things considered, reachable. Be that as it may, how about we return to the moon and the interesting discoveries of the Chinese space travelers? The glass globules uncovered different things other than the moon. Might our energy issues at some point be settled with this? The examples gathered by the Chinese space test are special, taken from profound layers. They are about 1 billion years more established than every one of the examples gathered from the surface by space explorers during the American Apollo program. In all likelihood, these glass dots have been shaped prevalently over the last 2 billion years through monstrous shooting star, space rock, and comet influences. To produce the fundamental temperatures, influence aspects are required that are generally equivalent to the space rock that cleared out the dinosaurs on Earth about quite a while back as a moderately little divine body. The moon has been presented to monstrous astronomical impacts all through its formative history, and it's a miracle that the moon has made due these bombardments so well. Scientists accept that this is expected in addition to other things, to its low thickness. Furthermore, the thick padding layer of residue, the moon's fierce life, could have delivered an entire scope of quirks from which we might benefit tremendously in the future. Chang'e 5 saw as another precious stone in the lunar stone, and it could be critical on the grounds that this moon gem is made of a substance that was already totally obscure. Analysts were stunned and puzzled simultaneously when that's what they saw. This construction has a vital part for atomic combination. For those not exactly acquainted with atomic power, it's worth focusing on at this point that world's energy issue would be tackled when we have the opportunities for atomic combination. Up to this point, we have utilized the standard of atomic parting to meet our huge energy hunger. Anyway, coming about, radioactive waste has turned into an enormous issue. In atomic combination, light nuclear cores are melded into heavier cores. This discharges a far bigger measure of energy than atomic splitting, and the buildups are without radiation for quite a long time. Physicists overall have been working on this innovation, however, such a long ways without achievement in light of the fact that the strain and thusly the energy input important to make the cores meld surpasses the energy acquired. The issue would be tackled in a flash if we could track down a mineral or a molecule that innately has an expanded status for combination, and that is precisely exact thing has simply occurred. The disengaged phosphate mineral was named Changes at Y out of appreciation for the mission and the Chinese moon goddess. Chang'e future exploration at the Beijing Research Foundation of Uranium Topography will show whether the combination prepared helium-3 isotope will be usable on the planet. so might it at any point before long be that mining starts on the moon space, apparatus carry rock to Earth consistently, and our planet can take a breather for now. Well, we don't have the foggiest idea about that yet. The Chang'e 6 mission is set to gather further tests from the furthest side of the moon beginning in 2024 and take them back to Earth. The improvements are at present being observed intently, and obviously NASA has likewise paid heat. Specialists have determined that the whole US can be controlled for a year with around 27.6 short lots of helium-3. This effectively relates to the freight volume of a space transport. Helium-3 from the moon is assessed to have a monetary worth of $3 billion for each short ton. This revelation could set off a, truth be told, dash for unheard of wealth and draw in numerous countries and organizations to the moon. Some significant energy companies have proactively shown interest to NASA in putting cash in future space missions. This could imply that NASA's Artemis program gets a huge lift. Thanks for watching. Please comment below about these shocking discoveries, and please consider subscribing our channel